guess quick pros and cons, what I want to share about with a wood stove in general is, we'll start with the pros. Living out where we live, we don't have natural gas. We do have propane. Propane's all right. It's cheaper traditionally than electricity for heating your home, but I believe it's like the third most expensive way to heat your home. To give you an idea, when we were on propane, we were going to be paying approximately like $385 per month during the heating season. And that was just too much. That was actually heating our house to 62 degrees. So the first winter that we were in this house, we were walking around with, thick socks and sweatpants and sweatshirts, and it was tough on the kids. So after that winter, we decided we needed to do something different. And in this spot, we used to have a zero clearance fireplace. So we were torn between doing a pellet stove, and you get ones that run off of electricity or off of a car battery in case you lose power. But then when I did the math, we would have only been paying like $100 less each month because of the cost of pellets. So we decided to do a wood stove. We're really glad we did it. A couple weeks ago, they were saying there was going to be like an extended power outage. And it was nice having that peace of mind, knowing that we could cook food, we could boil water if we needed to, and we could heat the home, number one. Okay, so the cons to having a wood stove. If you and your spouse work full-time, the house is going to cool down, obviously. Well, to give you an idea how much it can cool down, when it's 15 degrees outside, it may be 52 degrees inside the house if no one is here to keep it going. And some of you might be thinking, well, what if you have like an Energy Star home or a newer home, won't your home stay warmer? I think it can make a difference, like your windows make a big difference, retaining that heat in the home. But our house is only 11 years old, so it's not like we have a really leaky home. But once you get home, you heat the house up. By the time you go to bed, it's normally like 74 degrees, so it's not too bad. Where we live, during the winter, it gets really dry. So we have this stovetop kettle. It's made specifically for wood stoves. You don't want to use a regular one, that you put on your electric stove or gas stove. They're not rated for that kind of heat, because this part could be around 400 degrees, and this part will be around 120. And so they need to have the right kind of kettle up here. Have that. It also helps to use a humidifier. If you don't want to have to babysit this guy, you can use a humidifier that we keep down. You can have it on the carpet, you just want it like on a trivet. So for those of you that are thinking about purchasing a wood stove, obviously there's a lot of brands out there. I went with this one called an Avalon. It's made by Travis Industries, and this model is the Olympic. It's the largest one that they sell. A few things I like about it is it doesn't have what's called a fiberglass baffle inside, and that's something that you would have to replace every couple of years. So it's low maintenance. The only thing that I have to replace annually is the rope gasket, but that's only $14, and you can get that rope gasket at a store like Lowe's or Home Depot, about 14 bucks. Other than that, as long as you don't run it too hot, it'll heat your home. It'll last you years and years. You want to stay away from like the fiberglass baffles. I'm not a fan of those. High maintenance. The quality of the fire bricks inside, if they're not good quality, you're going to be changing those out. I like this one because you can have it in tighter spaces. Just with the way our home was built, we needed something that would fit in this space. Okay, next thing is wood. It helps to have a few different varieties. So like your softer woods, like pine or birch. Even though birch is a hardwood, it's a great wood for starting your fires. So I recommend having at least half your wood supply being softwood for starting your fires, and then your other half be hardwoods like maple, ash, locust. If you're around some fruit orchards, it's great to build some relationships with those folks. So one thing I forgot to mention, and I think this is really important, is there's wood stoves out there that can cost anywhere from, we'll go with $1,000 to $4,000. And I don't own one of those $4,000 ones, but one of the things that got me with the price tag, sticker shopping was the details. I read one stove that said it could heat your house for, up to 12 hours. And I thought, oh, that'd be great. I put a load of wood in and I don't have to put any wood in for 12 hours. It'll heat my home because that's what it says. But as we all know, that's subjective. When it's 5 degrees outside and you want it to be 72 in here, even though the manual on your stove that you're looking at purchasing may say that it can heat your home for 12 hours, that may not necessarily mean that it can heat your home and maintain 72 degrees for 12 hours. So here's my case in point. It may be hot to the touch for 12 hours. That's very true. But it may not be hot in your bedroom for 12 hours. And so to give you an idea, I get up a couple times each night. I just really want to stress that, not to get wrapped up in all the little things that it claims it can do. Ask people who own them. I had met someone at my work and he owned this exact one. And that was really the biggest selling point for me, is talking to someone who actually owns that fireplace. And they had it for at least 3 years and hadn't had to do anything on it. So that was a big selling point for me. So in conclusion, I hope you've learned a couple things. I encourage any of you that are living outside of the city and you're on propane or fuel oil to consider doing a wood stove. My favorite thing about it is during the winter when you could lose power, it's not something that we have to be concerned about. So if you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. I'll do my best to answer them. And as always, thanks for watching, and like and subscribe.